I'm on my way to work this morning, guys. I was thinking about the bike last night, as I always do, and I know that I had the timing right. I looked it up on Google. I know for 100% sure that I had that bike at top dead centre, with the piston at the top and the two valves had a little bit of play in them, so I know that was definitely top dead centre when I set that timing. The only other thing I can think that might have went wrong is that the cam chain broke, which I don't really believe happened. Thinking about it more, it's happened twice now when the timing was set right. So I started to divert my attention towards the bottom end of the engine. I'm starting to think that maybe the conrod bearing is a bit on the worn side, and if that was the case, it would allow the piston, there'd be a bit of play, it would allow the piston to jump up a bit further than what it should and hit the valves, which would explain why it would run a bit and then throw the bearing whenever I put on the exhaust, because there's more compression to move the piston, the play in the piston, you know. So I'm half thinking of pulling the engine out again and pulling it apart to see if that's what the case is. I've ordered a new valve, I've ordered a new valve guide. I don't even know if that's broken, but I ordered one anyway. The other possibility is that the valve guide that I bought wasn't honed out properly. It wasn't the right size for the piston or for the valve when I got it, and I had to bore it out. And I bored it out, but I didn't hone it. I don't have anything to hone it with. So it's a good possibility that when it warmed up, it could have got stuck. But that'll be the third time probably that I'd done that, because the person before me that had the bike, the exact same thing happened to them. The valve wasn't in the head when I got the bike, so I know that for a fact that that's what happened to them. So when I get these parts, it's either going to be I'll get my friend to go through the whole engine and see if that's the case, or I'll do it myself. But at this stage, I really don't feel that I'm capable of getting it running, because I just don't have the experience. I have experience with small engines, but I've never come across a problem like this. And I really feel I need somebody more experienced to figure out what's going on there. I mean, I'm fairly sure this morning now, when I think about it, that there is a bit of play in the conrod bearing, because when I was turning it, the flywheel the day before yesterday, sorry, I felt that I could feel a little bit of play there. Hear a tiny knock, you know. So that could be what it is. I'm thinking I may just buy the parts, buy a new conrod, throw it over to my friend, get him to just throw it in anyway, in case that's what it is. I was going to rebuild the whole engine anyway at some stage, and it's probably my own fault, because I really should have just stripped it down and checked everything, instead of going into this fiasco of trying to get it running. And you can see what I'm up against now because of it. So that's all I have to say about it for now. We'll see what happens whenever the parts come, and either I look at it or he looks at it. So there you go, guys. Have a good day. I can't stay away from the thing. I started to take it apart a bit when I got home to check a few things. I took the caps off, as you can see in the back here, to see that I had, on top dead centre, that I had my play in my rocker arms, and you can hear this. So I knew my timing was right. When I was on top dead centre, the camshaft was lining up with the notch and everything on the top. It was definitely top dead centre. It wasn't valve overlap that I set it on. So that led me to believe that there might be a little bit of play in the conrod. Maybe the bottom bearing was a bit worn or something, and it was allowing it to go up a little further than it was supposed to. And so I've got myself a screwdriver here up against the cam, and I have it against the edge of this. Well, I will have to show you this. So I'm just going to put the pressure on it now, try and get it right here. It's a hard thing to do with only one hand here. I need to get you a bit of light too. Right, okay. Now you'll see the lines moving. Now I'm moving that. Do you see how much play there is there? That's like I'd say a good millimetre of play there. And the camshaft, when I'm doing that, is staying put. It's not moving any at all. I wish there was a better way of me showing you this. I could get out and show you from here, but maybe if I turn the phone up this way, can I get it? Maybe. If we're lucky. Nope. You might just see the edge of the cam there, the edge of it. Now, I'm turning the... See the flywheel moving a little bit there? And there's no movement in the cam, really. So there could be a little bit of play there in the bearings. It's the only other explanation I can think of, other than the barrel that I bought, as well as the other one, are not the right stroke. But I have checked out the specs on Google, and the specs for this bike are 49.5 or something, 49.5, and whatever it was anyway, it matched up with the cb125S, which is what I took this, actually, sorry, the XL125 that I got this barrel off, and it's the same stroke, same bore and same stroke, so that kind of eliminated that idea. And to be perfectly honest, bar maybe a bit of play in the you can hear that, can't you? Hear that bit of a knocking noise there. Bar the little bit of play that could be in the conrod, I haven't a clue what keeps going wrong with this bike. I really just don't. And it seems to only blow the valve whenever I stick the exhaust on the bike, and it probably because it raises the compression or something, but that's when it happens. So I've decided I'll probably get a new crankshaft for it anyway. I'm going to take it to my friend and see what he can do. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to pull it apart. I'm going to show him exactly the way I had it put together, bar the spark timing. As you can see now, I've undone the spark timing, but everything else is exactly as I had it, exactly as I left it. And I'm hoping that he's going to be able to figure out what's wrong with the bike. But I will have a few parts to get before I can do that. I will have gaskets to get, so he can continue with the work. Gasket for here, head gasket. I do have a clutch gasket. I need a gasket for here. If he decides to open the engine, he's going to need one of those. So I have to wait for all those bits to come, which is more money, which I didn't want to be spending. But at this stage, what choice do I have? Because I haven't got a bike that's running. So if I don't have a bike that's running, there's no point in having it sitting here, is there? And if he decides that he can't fix it, then I'll just have to give up on the whole thing, which is unfortunate, but it's just the way life goes, isn't it? So there you go, that's the update anyway, guys.